The Brahmaputra River, one of Asia's mightiest rivers, flows for thousands of miles. It originates in the Himalayas and travels through China, India, and Bangladesh. The river is a lifeline for millions of people. However, the Brahmaputra is facing a new challenge. China's plan to build a massive dam on its upper reaches. This ambitious project has raised concerns in India and Bangladesh. They are worried about the potential impact on their water resources, environment, and people's livelihoods. The Brahmaputra is a transboundary river, meaning it flows through multiple countries. Therefore, any large-scale infrastructure project on the river has implications for all riparian nations. The Brahmaputra's delta is particularly vulnerable to changes in water flow. Alterations in the river's natural rhythm could have severe consequences for this region. The decisions made about its future will have far-reaching consequences for generations to come. It is crucial to find a way forward that ensures the sustainable and equitable use of this vital waterway for all. China's proposed dam on the Brahmaputra is a symbol of the country's growing thirst for energy and its engineering prowess. The dam, planned for a site in Tibet, aims to harness the river's immense hydroelectric potential. It is expected to generate an enormous amount of electricity, powering China's industrial growth. The project involves constructing a massive concrete barrier across a narrow gorge of the Brahmaputra. This would create a reservoir behind the dam, storing vast amounts of water. The water will then be released through turbines, generating electricity. The region's high altitude and steep terrain offer ideal conditions for hydropower generation. However, the area is also seismically active, raising concerns about the dam's safety and the potential for catastrophic earthquakes. Critics argue that these benefits come at a high environmental and social cost. They point to the potential displacement of local communities, the destruction of ecosystems, and the disruption of the river's natural flow. As China moves forward with its plans, it is crucial to address the concerns of downstream countries and ensure the project's long-term viability. India, a downstream nation reliant on the Brahmaputra, views China's dam project with apprehension. Concerns include water security, environmental sustainability, and geopolitical issues. Water security is paramount for India. The Brahmaputra supports a significant portion of its population, especially in agriculture. India fears the dam could give China control over the river's flow, impacting irrigation and drinking water. Environmental concerns are pressing. The Brahmaputra basin is a biodiversity hotspot. India worries the dam could disrupt the river's flow, impacting ecosystems and increasing flood and drought risks. Geopolitically, the dam adds complexity to India-China relations. The Brahmaputra flows through a sensitive border region. India views the dam as a potential tool for China's strategic leverage. The Brahmaputra River, flowing through ecologically sensitive areas, faces numerous threats. A megadam in its upper reaches could have devastating consequences for the environment and communities downstream. One major concern is the impact on biodiversity. The basin is home to endangered species like the Ganges River dolphin and the one-horned rhinoceros. Dam construction could disrupt habitats and push species closer to extinction. The Brahmaputra's floods are essential for replenishing ecosystems and supporting agriculture. The dam could displace thousands of people living along the river's banks. Additionally, its construction in a seismically active region raises safety concerns. A collaborative and sustainable approach is needed to protect the river and its communities. Section 5. India's response, balancing development and diplomacy. India, caught between its own developmental aspirations and the potential threats posed by China's dam project, is navigating a complex path. The country is pursuing a multi-pronged strategy, balancing its own hydropower ambitions with diplomatic efforts to safeguard its interests. On the one hand, India is keen to tap into the Brahmaputra's hydroelectric potential. The country faces a growing demand for energy, and hydropower is seen as a clean and renewable source. India has announced plans to construct several dams on the Brahmaputra's tributaries within its territory, aiming to generate electricity and enhance water management capabilities. However, India recognizes that these projects must be developed responsibly, minimizing environmental and social impacts. The country is exploring alternative hydropower technologies, such as run-of-the-river projects, which have a lower environmental footprint compared to large storage dams. Diplomatically, India is engaging with China to address its concerns regarding the Brahmaputra. India is pushing for a binding water-sharing agreement that ensures equitable water allocation and protects its interests. The Brahmaputra River, flowing through a region marked by political complexities and ecological vulnerabilities, presents a unique set of challenges. Addressing these challenges requires a departure from unilateral actions and a commitment to dialogue, cooperation, and shared responsibility. China, as the upstream riparian nation, has a particular obligation to ensure that its actions do not harm downstream countries. Transparency is paramount. China must share detailed information about its dam project, including its design, operation, and potential impacts with India and Bangladesh. This will help build trust and facilitate a joint assessment of the project's implications. A cooperative framework for data sharing and joint monitoring is essential. Real-time hydrological data, early warning systems for floods and droughts, and a joint mechanism for assessing environmental impacts are crucial for effective transboundary water management. Joint research initiatives can play a vital role in understanding the Brahmaputra's complex ecosystem and the potential impacts of human interventions. The Brahmaputra River should be a catalyst for regional cooperation, not conflict. The Brahmaputra River, once a symbol of nature's bounty, now faces an uncertain future. The specter of climate change, coupled with increasing human pressures, poses significant challenges to its health and the well-being of the millions who depend on it. Climate change is expected to alter the Brahmaputra's flow regime significantly. Glacial melt in the Himalayas, the river's primary source of water, is projected to accelerate in the coming decades, leading to increased flows in the short term. However, as glaciers recede, the river's long-term water security is in jeopardy. Changes in rainfall patterns, another consequence of climate change, could exacerbate the situation. More intense and erratic rainfall could lead to more frequent and severe floods, causing widespread damage and displacement. Conversely, prolonged droughts could become more common, impacting agriculture, drinking water supplies, and livelihoods. The Brahmaputra's delta, a vast and densely populated region, is particularly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. Addressing the challenges facing the river requires a concerted and coordinated effort, one that prioritizes sustainability, resilience, and the well-being of both people and nature. The Brahmaputra River, flowing through a region marked by historical tensions and competing interests, presents a critical test for India-China relations. The question is whether these two Asian giants can overcome their differences and forge a cooperative path forward for the sake of the river and the millions who depend on it. There are reasons for both optimism and concern. On the positive side, both India and China recognize the importance of the Brahmaputra and the need for cooperation. They have established dialogue mechanisms and expert-level exchanges to address transboundary water issues. Moreover, both countries are increasingly aware of the transboundary nature of environmental challenges. Climate change, in particular, has emerged as a common concern, prompting discussions on joint research and data sharing. However, significant challenges remain. Mistrust and suspicion continue to cast a shadow over bilateral relations. The lack of a comprehensive water-sharing agreement for the Brahmaputra remains a major obstacle. Finding common ground will require political will, a commitment to transparency, and a willingness to compromise. The Brahmaputra River presents an opportunity for India and China to demonstrate leadership and forge a new model of cooperation. The Brahmaputra River, a lifeline for millions, is at a crossroads. Its future hinges on the choices made by the countries that share its waters. The challenges are complex and multifaceted, but they are not insurmountable. The key lies in recognizing that the Brahmaputra is not just a river, it is a shared responsibility. Unilateral actions driven by narrow self-interest will only exacerbate tensions and undermine the river's health. A cooperative approach based on dialogue, transparency, and a shared vision for the future is the only viable path forward. The Brahmaputra story is a reminder that we are all connected upstream and downstream by the flow of water and the fabric of life it sustains. It is a call to rise above political differences, embrace a spirit of cooperation, and work together to ensure that this magnificent river continues to flow for generations to come. The Brahmaputra's future is in our hands. Let us choose wisely.